One day, Prophet Suleiman gathered his army. In this army, there was an important bird known as Hudhud. Its duty was to fly long distances and act as a spy, gathering intelligence for the army. It would observe everything about the enemy, return, and give a detailed report to the commander. Hudhud had a very sensitive and important role within the army. At the time when the army was assembled, most of the animals noticed that Hudhud was missing. They whispered to each other in low voices, "The commander will soon arrive, and he will see that Hudhud is not here." Finally, when Prophet Suleiman approached the army, the whispers grew louder. As he inspected the soldiers, he quickly realized that Hudhud was absent, but Hudhud was far away, in the land of the Queen of Sheba. It had flown a very long distance to get there, guided by a feeling that it was about to discover important news. Landing on the top of a tall tree above the city, Hudhud looked down. It observed the roads, the houses, the palaces and the city gates, watching everything carefully from the air. Soon it noticed something unusual. The people seemed to be gathering for a large ceremony. A Hudhud asked another bird in the area, "Oh, beautiful Hudhud, please tell me what is happening in this city." The bird replied, "The people are going to see their Queen of Sheba. Today is the important day of their sun worship ceremony." Hudhud now knew that its instincts had been correct. First, it saw the guards assembling, then the commanders and soldiers. Finally, the Queen of Sheba herself appeared, seated on her magnificent throne. Then she stepped down from the throne, raised her hands and led her people in, bowing down to the sun. The entire crowd followed her in prostration. Hudhud watched everything carefully. It knew this was great news to bring back, and it wondered how Suleiman would react. Taking flight again, it crossed the long distance back, flying for days, until it finally returned to the place where the army was gathered. When Hudhud reached Prophet Suleiman, it said, "My master, I have brought you certain news about a people you do not yet know. I saw a woman ruling them, sitting upon a great throne and having everything. But she and her people do not worship Allah. I saw them prostrating to the sun. Satan has made their actions seem pleasing to them." These words were indeed exciting. A Hudhud had now explained that its absence was due to an important mission. Suleiman replied to all that he heard, "Of course, we must be sure whether you are telling the truth or lying. For this, you will take a letter that I will write and deliver it to them. Then we will see what answer they send back." When Suleiman sealed the letter, Hudhud carried it in its beak and immediately set out for the land of Sheba. After flying long without rest, it arrived at the royal palace. From the garden, it spotted the largest room with a balcony, and it knew that this must be the queen's chamber. Hudhud flew inside through the open window, the letter still in its beak. It decided to hide behind a decoration on the ceiling. From there, it looked down and saw the queen sleeping on her bed. Her hair was spread over the pillow and her face was very beautiful. Hudhud hesitated. Should I drop the letter now or wait until she fully wakes up? As it wondered about this, the letter suddenly slipped from its beak and fell directly onto the queen's bed. The queen opened her eyes and found the letter before her. She looked around quickly but saw no one. Afraid, she opened the letter and read it quietly. "This message is from Suleiman. In the name of Allah, the most merciful, the most compassionate, I invite you to believe in the one God. Do not show pride against me. Come to me and submit yourselves in peace." Queen Bilqis became angry. Looking around again to see who had brought the letter, she called her guards. "Who dares to enter my chamber? Who brought this?" The guards, shocked, swore that no one had entered. They insisted that throughout their watch they had stood with swords in hand, eyes open, and that no one had approached or entered the queen's room. Meanwhile, the Hudhud bird had hidden itself high above in a gap and was listening to everything. Queen Bilqis shouted, "Then where did this letter come from?" and raised the letter in her hand. The guards were stunned. They thought about where it might have come from, but none of them had seen anyone bring it. They were speechless with amazement. The Queen immediately called an extraordinary meeting of her council. When the assembly gathered under her leadership, debates began. Many of the members leaned toward the side of war. But the final word was the Queen's. She said, "When kings enter a land, they ruin it, and they make the honored people among it the lowest. I fear such a thing may happen to us, so let us send them gifts through our messengers and then wait to hear what news the messengers bring back." Since no one in the council objected, her proposal was accepted. Hudhud heard all these discussions. When the meeting ended, it flew away. Soon after, in the Queen's land, the people were ordered to prepare a gift of gold and jewels. No matter the cost, it must be a magnificent gift. Only a very precious gift could satisfy such a powerful king, the Queen thought. To her, Suleiman was frightening, and they needed to win his favor because their future depended on his mercy. The best craftsmen of the land began working day and night to create the gift the Queen demanded. They used many valuable metals and stones. At last, the special gift prepared for the Queen was finished. When Bilqis saw it, she was pleased and delighted. She ordered her messengers to be ready and entrusted them with taking this gift to Suleiman. But Prophet Suleiman already knew what had been said in her council because Hudhud had informed him. While flying reconnaissance along the borders of the land, a Hudhud also spotted the caravan of messengers carrying the gift. It returned quickly and told Suleiman everything. Suleiman then ordered his army to prepare and line up to meet the Queen's messengers. When Bilqis's messengers arrived, they suddenly found themselves face to face with a mighty army. The messengers were shocked at what they saw. The army was not made of humans alone. There were lions, tigers, elephants, birds, and many other animals marching alongside the soldiers. They even saw that the army could travel from one place to another by means of the winds. Their eyes widened in disbelief, and their mouths remained open. This was a magnificent and terrifying army, unlike anything they had ever seen before. When they noticed weapons that moved on their own, their amazement and fear grew even stronger. Terrified, they whispered among themselves, asking what this could possibly be. The officer who escorted them said calmly, "This is only a small unit of the jinn, doing their morning training." The messengers were left speechless. They became even more eager to meet Prophet Suleiman. But when they finally spoke with him, things did not go as they had hoped. Prophet Suleiman refused the Queen's expensive gifts and said, "Do you try to offer me wealth? What Allah has given me is far better than what He has given you. Take back your gift and return with it. If I come against you with a force you cannot even imagine, I will drive you out of your city as humble and powerless people." The messengers understood the message clearly. They returned to their land and told Queen Bilqis everything that had happened. Now the Queen had only one option left. She had to go to Suleiman's palace and meet him face to face. At the same time, Prophet Suleiman held a gathering in his own city. He said to his council, "I expect the Queen will come to meet me. But before she arrives, who among you can bring me her throne?" One of the jinn under his command stepped forward and said, "I can bring it to you before you rise from your seat. Everyone here knows my ability." But then, a scholar in the assembly, a man whom Allah had given special knowledge of Laduni, said, "I will bring it to you before your eyes can even blink." As soon as Prophet Suleiman accepted this, in the blink of an eye, the throne of Queen Bilqis appeared before him. Perhaps for the first time in human history, something like teleportation had taken place. The throne was there, suddenly, right before their eyes. Everyone was astonished. The throne was massive and splendid. As they gazed at it, they began to reflect deeply on what they had just witnessed.